What is a solar lease, or being more specific, what is a power purchase agreement? How does it work? Maybe you're thinking about going solar, or you're a home buyer looking at a property with this type of arrangement. Let's get you some answers here. I'm Craig Power, with Power Realty Advisors, serving Greater Boston and the South Shore. And as usual, my angle here is seeing this from a real estate perspective. Quickly, I'm doing 2 videos on this topic. This is the first, and next week, I'll be sure to link it back here. That one's about how solar panels directly impact your home's value. Of course, this is sort of what I do here on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Trying to cover niche personal finance questions. And I can't help it, okay? I look at everything from a resale value lens. So yeah, a solar lease, and when I say a solar lease, that's very different from a cash purchase of solar panels and putting them on your house, and it's also different from financing the purchase of solar panels. A solar lease is actually called a power purchase agreement. We're gonna get into the structure a little bit more, but I don't wanna bury the lead. Let me say at the beginning, I think this is the worst way to go solar. First, why do people wanna go solar? It's mainly 3 reasons, okay? First is they want to undercut their current utility provider and they want to get energy cheaper. Second is they want to be stewards for the planet, right? Clean energy, it's a great reason to go solar, fully in support of that. And third is security, right? A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. People can be nervous about relying on the grid going down. I get it. I'm like a wannabe doomsday prepper myself. The way a power purchasing agreement works, the general idea is you are buying power produced by the solar panels on your house at a rate that is cheaper than your other utility provider options. That's the idea. So the company that owns the panels, they step in, they become your utility provider, they put the panels up on your house, they retain ownership of the panels. It's a very important detail. And from there, they start collecting electric bills from you, right? The typical term I've seen is 20 to 25 years. The rate increases are fixed. I believe most of these contracts will even have a payment schedule where you can see ahead, okay, in year 9, I'm paying X amount for power. There are performance guarantees built in. The pitch is, it's a simple way to go solar without many out-of-pocket expenses. In this arrangement, upfront costs are pretty minimal. And I'll repeat, global warming is a real thing. Clean energy is very appealing, all that. So why am I saying this is the worst way to go solar? I can list off 3 primary reasons. Number 1 is rate increases. Your first negative is rate increases. Like we were talking about, part of the sales pitch is that you'll pay less for energy, but that's not necessarily the case, especially when you get deeper into the years of the agreement. We're in Massachusetts. I've seen a couple of these recently, new contracts where the built-in annual increase is 2.9%. That increase is slightly higher than the Massachusetts historical average for electricity. I think that was around like 2.7 something. So you have to consider, sure, your energy might be cheaper in year 1, but projecting ahead, how does this whole deal look in year 12? Negative number 2 is lack of ownership, and therefore lack of ownership benefits. When you actually purchase solar panels, the federal solar tax credit allows you to deduct, I think, 26% of the installation. Some states have their own tax credits in place. I thought Massachusetts was like 15%. When you're leasing, you don't get those benefits. The solar company retains those benefits. Going back to the sales pitch on this, one of the other benefits they sell you on is you aren't responsible for maintenance. You don't own it, they own it, so they're responsible for repairs and upkeep. That's true, but at that point, they might not have much incentive to do a great job with maintenance. You can look a lot of these companies up, Google reviews, Yelp. Sometimes you see they don't treat repairs with much urgency. I'm painting with a broad brush here, okay, but that's what I've seen. Last reason I don't like solar leases is the big one to me. They make it harder to sell your home. There is no increase to your property value. The agreement itself can scare off potential home buyers. Once you enter into one of these leases, if you want to sell your home, you're gonna have to consult with the solar company. You probably can't sell to somebody who doesn't meet their credit requirements. Potential buyers will be reluctant to assume the lease. If you're selling, your best bet sometimes can be trying to buy the lease out, termination. A buyer might even request full termination in an offer, and they don't make that easy either. I've heard of contracts where you can't even terminate them until 6 years in. There can be a lien put on your house. My general sentiment is, if you haven't figured it out by now, a power purchase agreement is usually not a good idea. I'm a big believer in the technology, but the way I see it, if you want solar panels, save your money, buy them cash. Otherwise, just don't tie a complicated lease like this to your most important asset. Thank you for watching. I'm posting another video on solar next week. And remember, we are here to be a resource. If you have a real estate related question right now, you can text me at 617-750-1205, or you can email me at craig@powerrealtyboston.com. I would love to hear from you, and I will always get back to you. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Have a wonderful day.